Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Mitten Minute, our glamping journey. I'm Mike Crowe, one of the founders of Mitten Getaways Glamping Company. In our show, I, and sometimes my wife Melissa, will discuss various aspects of our journey to opening a glamping resort here in Eastern Michigan. The show is produced by Woodall's Campground Magazine and is sponsored by Outdoor Alliances, which provides digital marketing services to campgrounds, RV parks, and glamping properties. In this episode, I'm excited to announce that we are expanding our breadth of services and opening 2 new businesses. Yes, we figured that while we had some downtime awaiting the right piece of land for our resort, we would use our experience to create both the Glamping Store and the Mitten Marketer. The former is the custom curated store for glampers, luxury campers, and glamping resort operators. The latter is a marketing consultant service in which I take what I've learned from marketing Mitten Getaways and share it with other entrepreneurs and small businesses so that they can benefit from it. A little disclaimer about this episode. Although I'm telling you about our 2 new businesses, I'm hoping you can appreciate the story behind them and not feel too much like you're listening to a 10-minute commercial. And at the same time, I would love for the businesses to succeed and be a help to you. So do feel free to share any feedback you have about either of them with us and use either business if it meets a need for you. Okay, disclaimer done. Back to the story. When I was first planning out this podcast episode, I thought I'd do one more episode for our website series, but it actually works out better to talk about these new businesses because they leverage many of the features of our resort's website. In fact, they are both stood up under the mittengetaways.com domain. That probably seems like an odd choice, I think many of you would think. Well, I actually considered setting up a dedicated site for each of the 2 new businesses, but I just couldn't see it making sense to invest the money required for that. A new domain was only $15 or $20, depending on the domain, but to host a website was going to be close to $400 per year. And then there were some additional extra fees and add-ons that I would need, like email marketing and a few other things. And on top of that, if I were to set up a new domain and social media for these businesses, the new ones, I would be losing out on the audience that we had already built. And I just didn't want to do that. So instead of spending thousands of dollars and dozens of hours setting up everything for 2 new businesses, I leveraged a lot of what we had. I did end up buying the domains, though. Their cost was pretty little, and I was able to set up a permanent redirect for one of them. So right now, if someone goes to theglampingstore.co, it redirects them to the site hosted under our mittengetaways.com domain. And eventually we'll do the same thing for the Mitten Marketer once that domain is unlocked, as I needed to transfer it to another host before setting up a redirect rule. But anyways, what led us to starting 2 new businesses in the middle of trying to start our glamping resort? Well, I thought I'd start with the Glamping Store. So if you go out and try to find glamping specific items, there really isn't a dedicated retailer out there. There's some manufacturers and distributors selling individual items through their own website and other channels. And of course, there's larger retailers like Amazon that have some, but very few glamping items. And they are typically buried in the rest of the items that they sell. So I set out to bring everything deemed quote-unquote glamping together in one place, thinking that could be beneficial for people like me and a lot of our listeners. Another driving force behind opening the Glamping Store was my experience building out our merchandise store for Mitten Getaways. My wife and I had always liked when we're on vacations to get a souvenir, typically a magnet or something with a logo of the place we're at, just so we could remember it or have a momentum put on the fridge. And so we also saw it an opportunity to tie it in with our pre-marketing efforts, getting people to don our logo on their shirts or coffee mugs, for example. once we discovered we could sell this custom merchandise via a print-on-demand service without any risk or inventory costs, we were all in on hosting an online store. As I looked around for ideas for merchandise that could have more than just our logo, I realized that there wasn't a lot of glamping gear or merchandise out there. I also realized that our merchandise had a limited audience of mainly people who would want to help us out, at least until they stayed at our resort and wanted our merchandise as a memento for themselves. So the larger glamping world isn't necessarily going to come to Mitten Getaways website and buy our goods to meet their need for just general glamping things. So having worked through the process of setting up an online store already, seeing this perceived unmet need of a dedicated glamping goods store, and wanting to market our store to a larger audience than that of Mitten Getaways, we decided to open the Glamping Store. At a high level, our store has two categories of products for sale. Products we have designed ourselves and sell as print on demand, and products sold by third parties, which we have reviewed and personally think are really good products. Related, we reformatted the Mitten Getaways gift card to be usable at all three businesses, and we created a rewards program where customers can earn points and exchange them for, well, rewards, hence the name of the program. We also reworked our user account a bit to work for all three businesses, so guests, customers, and clients can track their orders, appointments, subscriptions, etc. The online store, gift card, rewards program, and the user accounts were all add-ons supported by our website builder, so it makes it really easy to build those things out and to have them function. In addition to ready-made products for purchase, we also set up a way for people to order customized items. Since our products are simply focused on glamping, we thought that there may be businesses within the glamping industry that want their business name or logo added to one of our products to either sell or wear themselves. We also thought that the customization may be desired by a group of glampers, like a family going out on a reunion, or a business group on a corporate retreat that wants to add their name to one of our products to personalize it. So for a very small fee, we'll customize any of our existing products or do an entirely new product and make it available to the customer to purchase. All they have to do is provide what they want and okay a proof. The Glamping Store also has a product blog to highlight and review some of the items we sell, and we're working on building out some glamping product subscriptions. So that's a little bit about the Glamping Store. Moving on to the Mitten Marketer. While this business was also born out of my experience with our glamping resort business, it was from a much different aspect. Whenever I think of this business, the Mitten Marketer, what comes to mind is a scene from that Jack Black movie, School of Rock, where he impersonates a substitute teacher. And he's at lunch with the other teachers, the real teachers, and is asked about his philosophy on teaching. And he responds with, "Those who can't do, teach. And those who can't teach Jim." Well, although we're not doing, in a sense of operating a glamping resort yet, I think with our experience, we are definitely in the position to teach, at least on the aspect of some marketing. And while I have past experience designing websites and doing some social media marketing, newsletters, and other similar things, I had never done any of this to the extent that we've done for Mitten Getaways. There are a lot of tools out there to help with these aspects, and the costs of them can really add up. We couldn't just sign up for everything in the most feature-packed plan when we were doing the marketing and setup for Mitten Getaways. Also, as for the website and marketing aspects of Mitten Getaways, I'm doing it all, and that could add up to quite a bit of time with a monthly newsletter, a weekly blog, a weekly podcast, and multiple social media content across 7 channels. And in the beginning, it did take a lot of time, several days per month. So with the budget and the time constraints in mind, I wanted to create a system that allowed our business to be present in front of our followers with quality content without breaking the bank or requiring several days and weeks of my time every single month. And I think I came up with a pretty good process for that, which is what led to building this Mitten Marketer business, a consulting service. It's really the main service that I'm pushing is the consultation aspect, since it helps other businesses like ours to DIY or do it yourself with their marketing. But if that's not a fit, there's some other more hands-on services where I either do a first-time setup of the marketing and tools for a business, or actually do the marketing on a month-to-month subscription basis. The tagline for the business is that marketing doesn't have to be hard, time-consuming, expensive, or outsourced, which are 4 things we learned through our business, Mitten Getaways. And what I hope to provide is help to the DIY business person where they can plan and schedule a whole month of digital marketing content in less than a day for around $20 a month. That $20 is what they would spend once I help them set up on the tools that are out there. And there are other tools and aspects covered through the services of this consulting business, like incorporation, getting a website domain, brand kit development, graphic design, project management, online office tools, email marketing, merchandising, e-commerce, and payment processing. Basically all the various aspects that I've dealt with in past businesses and especially in setting up Mitten Getaways so far. In addition to those services, I also created a section of the site for what I call the best products, which are web-based programs and services I personally use and recommend. The page, which I literally call the best products, it has a summary of all those, and each one can be opened up for a more in-depth description and review. And in a lot of cases, it's kind of an affiliate thing where people that want to use those, they can potentially get a discount signing up through that program. And I'm also considering putting together some short online courses as a means of conveying what I've learned and currently use in practice. The web builder that we use now has a module for that to set up. So it just makes sense for someone who wants to passively go through a course and gain what we learned, hopefully. And I hope there's some listeners out there that'll, if they have a chance, check out these businesses. And of course, as I said in the beginning, we're open to hearing your feedback and suggestions. It'd be awesome if there was a business listening that could benefit from what I've learned, which I feel like has been a lot through this process. So the sites are, again, theglampingstore.co. And right now for the Mitten Marketer, it's mittengetaways.com/Mitten Marketer. They are continuously growing. I'm still working on them, adding to them, refining them. So check back often. You'll likely find something new. All right. Well, that is our show for today. I'm actually leaving here in a few minutes to go to the glamping show out in Colorado. So thanks for tuning in. You won't hear this episode until after the glamping show, but I'm really excited about it. And hopefully people that get to go will also enjoy it. If you do have any requests for future podcast episodes, please submit them at mittengetaways.com/reach out or email glampers@mittengetaways.com. The Mitten Minute, our glamping journey, is produced by Woodall's Campground Magazine and is sponsored by Outdoor Alliances. You can check out all episodes in the Mitten Minute at mittengetaways.com/minute and follow our journey in other ways at mittengetaways.com/links. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next week when we cover my time at the glamping show. Have a great week.